Have you ever wondered what separates you from rich people like Jeff Bezos on a lazy weekend morning? Let's paint a familiar scene. It's Saturday morning, your alarm rings, you hit snooze, then just a quick scroll turns into an hour on social media. The next thing you know, you're 3 episodes deep into your favorite Netflix series. Maybe you squeeze in some errands, and suddenly, it's already Sunday night, and those Sunday night blues hit hard. In research like Thomas C. Corley's study of 177 self-made millionaires, a clear pattern shows up. The best habits for success are built when the world is quiet. For the rich, weekends aren't downtime. They're rocket fuel for wealth, creativity, and fulfillment. In this video, I'll share the 7 key weekend habits this and other studies have found for the world's wealthiest. Habits grounded in psychology and proven by self-made millionaires. Plus, we'll break down exactly how you too can use your weekends to level up your mindset. Ready to unlock the millionaire mindset? Let's go! Ever feel like you're doing everything right? Saving, investing, learning, yet every Monday feels like a reset button? That's the Plateau Beaker's dilemma. You work hard, but you feel stuck, constantly restarting. It feels like there's a hidden ceiling over your potential. So what if the secret to smashing through your financial ceiling was hidden in how you spend your weekends? Neuroscience calls it neuroplasticity. What you repeat, you reinforce. Think of your brain like a field of grass. Walk the same route and a path forms. Believe it or not, neuroscience tells us that our weekend activities can literally rewire our brains, enhancing creativity, discipline, and our ability to spot opportunities. Think of your weekend like fertile soil. What you plant grows deep roots that impact everything: your habits, your outlook, even your future income. While most of us use these 2 days to recover from the week, the financially successful use them to propel forward. They're being intentional with their choices, even when the world says, relax, you deserve it. So, how do we switch from autopilot to a millionaire mindset each weekend? Let's explore. Sleeping in feels like a weekend luxury for most, but billionaires like Tim Cook and Bob Iger make a different choice. They rise before dawn every single weekend morning. Bob Iger, former Disney CEO, gets up at 4:30 a.m., all so he can start his day in silence, free from interruptions. Tim Cook? He's up at 3:45 a.m. When the world is silent, they get a head start no one can catch. You might be torn. Why sacrifice precious weekend sleep? Here's the secret. The early hours are cognitive prime time for laser-sharp focus and big-picture thinking. These are the moments no one is texting, calling, or demanding your attention. Science backs this up. When you wake up early, your brain enjoys a natural surge of dopamine, a neurotransmitter that enhances motivation and primes you for goal-directed behavior. Early rising literally sets you up for disciplined, creative work, which is one of the signature habits of millionaires and a proven strategy for how to make money. Let's take a look at how billionaire minds like Elon Musk and Richard Branson actually use their Saturdays and Sundays. Instead of resting on the couch, they get moving. Branson goes kite surfing on his private island, and Musk recharges by hitting the gym or taking his kids hiking. They understand that physical activity isn't just about staying in shape. It sparks a mental refresh and rewires the brain for next-level results. Now, you might be thinking, I'm too tired, I'll get back in shape one day. However, Science shows that even a short burst of physical activity kickstarts neurogenesis. Basically, your brain creates new cells and connections. Exercise also lowers cortisol and releases dopamine and serotonin, which means less stress, more clarity, and more confidence, the foundation for every other success habit. You don't need an expensive gym membership to join this club. A simple walk or an energetic dance session could jumpstart your brain and enhance your mood, setting a solid foundation for other success habits. Here's a weekend ritual most wealthy people quietly prioritize: strategic socializing and real networking. It's easy to picture billionaires behind closed doors, reading stock charts or making solo moves. But here's the truth. Warren Buffett spends his weekends playing bridge with friends, while Anil Ambani runs marathons or volunteers, always surrounded by people who bring out the best in him. Here's where most people get it wrong. We think networking means handing out business cards at awkward mixers or firing off LinkedIn requests. In reality, rich people habits are built on sharing weekends with ambitious and supportive minds. Not just schmoozing. That means hanging out with family who challenge you, mentors who tell you the truth, and joining communities with folks on the same mission. According to social science, your network is your net worth. Research estimates that up to 85% of job and business opportunities come from personal connections, not cold resumes. More than that, the famous Framingham Heart study showed that positive habits, like ambition or optimism, travel across social networks, compounding like interest over time. If you want to embody the habits of successful people, stop leaving your network to chance. Block just 1 hour this weekend. Have a real conversation with a mentor, family member, or your mastermind group. This single strategic habit opens doors and compounds benefits that no solo grind can match. You might be surprised to learn that Warren Buffett spends up to 80% of his day reading, even on weekends. In his words, reading, not Netflix binging, is the billionaire's entertainment. And he's not alone. In a study of 233 millionaires, 88% reported reading at least 30 minutes a day for self-improvement. That's more than the average person. You might be thinking, but I can never find the time. Or there's too much information out there. Totally fair. But here's the secret. The wealthy don't find time, they prioritize it because they know reading is how to make money smarter. Science backs this up. Deep reading forms new neural pathways in your brain, sharpening your focus and firing up creativity. Every session is a deposit in your mental bank account. Over time, those deposits grow exponentially, what Buffett calls compound interest for the brain. So, how do you build this millionaire mindset without upending your whole weekend? Replace a tiny slice of scrolling time with 15 minutes of reading. Pick up a biography, dive into a business book, or explore brain science. Jot one actionable takeaway. That's it. While it's common to shy away from finances on weekends, the wealthy often use this time for check-ins on their personal finance. They review their expenses, investments, and set new financial goals. Why? Because knowing where your money's going is how to be rich, not just look rich. You might say, checking my finances just stresses me out. You're not alone. Surveys from the American Psychological Association show money consistently ranks among the top sources of stress. However, the antidote to money anxiety is awareness. What you measure, you can improve. Neuroscience shows that tracking your progress, yes, even on money, activates your brain's dopamine system. Each time you check off a financial goal or watch your savings grow, you get a small mental reward. This cycle not only builds discipline, but rewires your brain for smarter financial habits. So here's your micro action step. Devote just 20 minutes this weekend to a wealth audit. Track your spending, review your investments, and set one new savings goal for the week. This habit may surprise you. While many imagine billionaires working non-stop, successful individuals make it a habit to unplug. They spend time painting, hiking, playing music, or simply relaxing away from screens. You might see Warren Buffett strumming his ukulele, or hear about top CEOs retreating into nature or their favorite hobbies. You might be wondering, if I'm not hustling, am I falling behind? Well, real productivity doesn't come from endless grind, but from deliberate pauses built into our routines. Science confirms this habit. When you detach from screens and structured work, your brain's default mode network turns on. This is the system responsible for connecting ideas, processing emotions, and sparking those brilliant, out-of-the-blue insights. In other words, start disconnecting, because this is when creativity and strategic thinking ignite. Here's your challenge. Reserve just 1 hour this weekend, with no phone, no work, and no agenda. Walk, paint, journal, play music, or wander outdoors. Capture any ideas afterward. This isn't wasted time. It's the fuel for next week's leap. Here's a secret that rarely makes headlines. Top achievers don't just excel in their professional lives. They are also champions at managing their emotions. They journal, meditate, and plan to keep a clear head and a steady hand. It's one of the best habits for success because it protects the decision maker inside you. You might be wondering, why does this matter on a weekend? Because if Sundays feel like a storm of Monday anxiety, you're burning energy you need for the week. That stress sneaks into your downtime and taxes your focus. Science again backs this up. Reflection and mindful breathing calm your amygdala, the brain's alarm bell responsible for fight, flight, or freeze and hand control, back to your prefrontal cortex, your planning and willpower center. People who master this routine are proven to adapt faster, make better decisions, and build resilience over time. If you want to prepare for a successful week ahead, make emotional regulation your new Sunday night tradition. End your weekend with a 10-minute reflection ritual. Sit quietly, journal, or meditate, and ask yourself, what were my wins, setbacks, and moments that energized me? To wrap it up, here are the 7 habits briefly. Rise early, stay active, socialize with intention, read deeply, manage your finances, unplug to recharge, and reflect emotionally. The rich don't leave weekends to chance. They treat Saturday and Sunday like a personal venture fund, allocating hours to assets that compound: health, skills, relationships, clarity. Rich people invest, not just in stocks or businesses, but in themselves. Imagine stepping into Monday with momentum, not regret. Future you thanking present you for not hitting snooze on your potential. Join the Wealth Builder movement. Your turn. When you make a public commitment, you're far more likely to follow through. Studies suggest you're about 65% more likely to achieve a goal when you share it with someone. So let's lock it in. Drop a comment below with the one habit you'll start this weekend. Name it clearly. No vague goals. If you haven't yet, subscribe for more science-based insights to creating wealth every week. And if this video provided you value, please like. It means the world to me. Thanks for watching, and remember to keep investing in yourself. See you in the next video.